Hey guys, welcome to another video. On today's video, I'm going to discuss 10 reasons why you should be dating a Vietnamese girl. Number 1. Vietnamese girls are sweet and feminine. Vietnamese girls really know how to act like a lady. Everything from the way they talk, the way they dress, the way they act. It emits femininity. If you ever get sick, for example, a Vietnamese girl will go outside and she'll buy you medicine, and then she'll come over and she'll take good care of you. If there's something you like to eat, for example, she may go outside and buy it for you and bring it over for you to give it because she knows that this is something you really enjoy and she cares about you. Vietnamese girls know that taking good care of themselves, putting effort towards their appearance, and being well-mannered gets them quite far with men. Number 2. Vietnamese girls are slim and know how to take good care of their body. Unlike some girls from the West who have lost all acts of self-control when it comes to consuming food, especially high-calorie foods, Vietnamese girls know when to call it quits when it comes to food consumption. Forget about that Big Mac. She would rather snack on a plate full of vegetables and herbs. Vietnamese girls eat very little, and this helps them remain thin. You probably won't be catching them at an all-you-can-eat buffet unless she's a gold digger. Also, gym culture is also starting to pick up here. I have seen way more Vietnamese girls working out at the gyms here than I ever saw in a Western country. When you're working at a gym in a Western country, it's basically just a giant sausage fest. Number 3. Beautiful. Vietnamese girls are known as one of the prettiest, if not the prettiest, in all of Southeast Asia, and can give some of the girls in even East Asia a run for their money. If you love girls with beautiful pale white skin and black silky smooth luscious hair with some nice curves, then you're gonna love Vietnamese girls. You won't find none of that pink, red, purple, or God forbid, silver hair crap over here. One of the best sights I ever saw here in Vietnam was during Tet when I witnessed some of these Vietnamese girls going outside and taking photos while wearing this beautiful traditional Vietnamese dress called an áo dài. Oh my god, did they embody the epitome of femininity and beauty. This dress is so seductive and reveals their beautiful figure without revealing it, leaving much to your imagination. Contrast this with the average chick over in the West's wardrobe that usually consists of sneakers, sweatpants, and a hoodie. Vietnamese girls are running circles around them when it comes to fashion. Number 4. Family oriented. Vietnamese girls put their families first and will self-sacrifice for the good of the family if necessary. This is in total contrast to women in developed countries that put their own needs first. They say, I'm gonna put out starting a family until I'm done with my studies and I've climbed up the corporate ladder. Then when they finally hit the wall, they complain about how they can't get a date. Well, here's a news flash for you. You swindled your best years away thinking you could have your cake and eat it too, but now reality has really hit you. Sorry. Tough luck. In Vietnam, girls on the other hand, are ready and willing to start families at an early age because they didn't buy into this myth that they could put off their best years to pursue their career and screw around sleeping with multiple guys. They know the clock is ticking and that they have a limited amount of time to secure a lifelong mate. Vietnamese girls also know how to take good care of the household. A lot of them learned from a young age how to cook and clean. This tradition was usually passed on to them from their parents, especially their mothers. Vietnamese girls have been groomed to be respectful and helpful around their husband's home. This means helping him take good care of his parents and being an active part of the family. You won't see her sitting on her ass watching some bullshit TV show like Friends while you're ordered to clean the house like a servant. Most Vietnamese girls will already have known how to cook and clean and will even cook and clean for you, even without you even asking her to. I can give you guys an example of my girlfriend. There were multiple times where she came over and she just cleaned my place when I didn't even ask her to do any of this stuff. And there are some times she comes and she cooks for me. There have also been some other Vietnamese girls that I dated. I remember there was one accountant that I dated. She came over one day and she just brought food and she said, I'm gonna cook you dinner tonight because you cooked me dinner last time. They really do put their best foot forward when it comes to taking good care of you. Number 5. They have realistic standards when it comes to men. Nowadays, if you're looking to date a girl from the West, or even a westernized Asian girl, she will have a list of demands that must be met before she even agrees to go out with you. Things like your height, you have to be 6 foot or over. Your salary, you gotta be making at least 6 figures, otherwise forget it. Looks, they're looking for guys that look like models. Body type, you gotta have abs and you gotta look like a fitness model, you gotta be funny. They want to date guys that are young. So basically, they're just looking for guys that are the top 1% of guys in the world. Now ask yourself this question: is she the top 1% of females? Most likely not. Yet she's demanding all these things from a guy. I want to share a personal story with you guys. I used to work at this company and I had a coworker, this older lady, probably in her 50s or so, and she was asking me, we're talking, and she asked me about my status, whether or not I was single or seeing someone. And I told her I was single at the time. And she told me that she knew a girl that was about 30 years old. This is a westernized Asian girl from Hong Kong. And she told me she'll try to introduce this girl to me. And at the time, I mean, I wasn't really thinking much about it. You know, if a coworker wants to introduce someone, I'm like, okay, whatever. But a few days later, she comes back to me and she tells me this girl said she didn't want to go out with me. And my coworker said it was because that she didn't like the fact that I wasn't from Hong Kong, and also she was looking for a guy that was richer, had a higher salary, and also better looking and looked like a model. Basically, she wanted a guy with like a 6-pack abs. Now let's think about this for a second here. You have this post-wall Asian girl who's still single, she's not getting any dates, yet she's somehow convinced herself and put herself on a pedestal and is still demanding the very best from guys. I mean, if I was the top 1% of men in my country, why the hell would I want to date a used-up post-wall woman like her? I can go out and I can date like 18-year-old, 20-year-old models, right? Why would I want to date someone that's been used up and well past her expiration date? And then another thing is, in Vietnam, I've dated, even outside of Vietnam, when I was in Eastern Europe and whatnot, and all these other foreign countries I've dated girls that were a lot prettier than this girl too. So this girl, her expectations are completely out of line, and she's completely delusional with what she thinks her value is. And as she gets older and older, her value is going to drop further and further away, and yet it's not her expectations aren't really going to change much. She's not really going to lower her expectations, so it's going to end up biting her in the ass later down the line as well. Now, on the other hand, when you're dating a Vietnamese girl, her expectations are much more realistic. My girlfriend, for example, she told me that it doesn't matter how much money that I had, just as long as I was able to support myself and treat her right, then that's all that mattered. And in her mind, treating her right means asking about her day, texting with her every day, maybe cooking her a meal once in a while, just basically giving her my attention whenever we're together. That's pretty much all she expects from our relationship. Now you compare this to like a chick from the West who's making all these demands, and she's not really bringing anything to the table. She wants this demands from you. She's basically a taker. She's not a giver, she's a taker. It's like, I want this, I want that, you better give me this, otherwise get lost. Meanwhile, then when you ask her back, okay, well, what am I getting in return for this? You're not really getting much in return for this. It's basically a one-sided deal, a raw deal. So what is the point of dating someone like that then? But this is basically what it's like dating in the West nowadays, where men are fighting tooth and nail for a female, like an average looking female that probably would get overlooked in like a country like Vietnam. She would not be able to compete in a place like that. Moving on to number 6. Vietnamese girls age much better. Asians in general age really well. Would you rather buy something with a very short shelf life, or would you rather get your money's worth? Your Vietnamese wife will continue to look gorgeous well past into her 40s. Compare this with a Western girl. By the time she's hit 30, she'll look like an old shriveled up mango that's well on her way out towards the compost bin. Also, Western beauty standards dictate that having tan skin is considered beautiful. All that tanning out in the sun, like a piece of fish being grilled on the barbecue burner, has aged your skin prematurely and probably induced early onset skin cancer. Meanwhile, Vietnamese girls on the other hand avoid the sun like the plague. They know what horrors the UV damage can do to their skin. This is why that when you look outside, despite it being grueling hot outside, especially during the afternoons, Vietnamese girls will still wear multiple layers of clothing to protect their skin. It doesn't matter that they'll be sweating like a pig under 3 layers of clothing looking like a ninja. They want their skin to remain white and free of UV damage. Number 7. Loyalty. Vietnamese girls can be quite loyal if you pick the right ones. Meaning you should go out there and get a normal Vietnamese girls. No gold diggers, no semi-pros, no pros. Go find yourself a nice normal Vietnamese girl. One that has a nice job, a stable job, or is studying in university. Vietnamese girls, when they're loyal to you, they will tell you everything whenever someone hits on her. If some guy's trying to ask her out, and she'll tell you all the details and how she rejected their advances. So you don't really have to worry too much about loyalty being a problem here. I can't count the number of times that I met a Vietnamese girl through a language exchange website in the past when I was trying to practice my Vietnamese. A girl that I've known for like at least a year or so, who after getting a boyfriend, stopped wanting to communicate with me online despite us just being platonic friends. They mentioned to me that how they wanted to be loyal to their boyfriends and that by continuing to talk with me despite us just being friends, that they would make their boyfriends sad and whatnot. Vietnamese girls will remain loyal to you, granted that their needs are being met. And one final point regarding this, unlike in the West, where cheating doesn't really carry much repercussions for the girl, in Vietnam things are a whole lot different here. Not only will cheating bring great shame towards her, but it'll also bring shame towards her family. The whole neighborhood will basically end up shaming her for cheating on her husband or her boyfriend if word ever got out. And she'll most likely need to move somewhere else to start fresh because of the huge loss of face towards her. So basically, society here keeps her in line, it keeps her in check, and it prevents her from cheating. It reduces the chances of cheating for her here. It's a huge deterrent for cheating over here in Vietnamese society. Just think about this for a second. If in the West, if they employed something similar to this over there, where if a girl knew that if she ever cheated, the whole neighborhood would find out about it, she would be shamed online, she would be shamed in the whole neighborhood, people will look down at her, she will think twice about ever cheating on her man. But unfortunately, you don't have safeguards like this over there. Number 8. Vietnamese girls are independent. Unless you're dating a gold digger, most Vietnamese girls will not leech off of you. Most normal Vietnamese girls can provide for themselves and may even help you with the bill when going out on dates. I remember when I went out with my girlfriend for the first time, she insisted on paying for the movie tickets and food at the movie theater. Even to this day, when we go out, sometimes she still pays for things or buys me things to eat. Lots of girls that I've gone out with in the past also had this same behavior. I remember there was another girl that I went out with for a while. On our second date, she refused to let me pay for anything and said that she was treating me. She took me to some nice Thai restaurant at the mall and later even paid for her drinks. Now you would think with the average salary being something like around $300 US that girls wouldn't dare to pay for dates. But that has not been the case at all, except for a few girls that I went out with that fit the stereotypical gold digger profile, which I'll do a later video about. Most Vietnamese girls will be glad to help pitch in for things or even pay for their own stuff. I remember when I was dating over in the West, the girls that I got out on dates, oftentimes on a date would make half-assed attempts to ask me if I wanted to split the bill. But in reality, they didn't want to pay for anything, despite them making more or less the same amount of money as me. Number 9. Vietnamese girls are well-mannered and friendly. I hardly ever see a Vietnamese girl with a resting bitch face over here. In Vietnamese culture, being well-mannered is of utmost importance to people. Families can get ridiculed and shamed by neighbors, outsiders, if their daughters are not taught to be well-mannered. In fact, school teachers may even hit their students with a ruler or something if they ever step out of line or are disrespectful towards the teacher. If you're dating a Vietnamese girl, You can expect her to be polite and respectful towards you. And finally, submissive. I know this one may sound like a stereotype, but I have found it to be quite true, at least when compared to Western girls. Vietnamese girls don't try to lead and instead look towards you for leadership. They will always be by your side and be supportive, and be looking to follow you wherever you may lead them. If you ask them to do something for you, they will be more than happy to do it for you. I remember when I was apartment hunting here in Ho Chi Minh City. My now girlfriend, I just started to date her at the time, and when I asked her to help me out with apartment hunting because I couldn't really speak Vietnamese and I needed help with reading the documents and translating them, she was more than willing to help me out. In fact, she even went overboard and helped me put down a deposit by transferring the funds directly through her bank account to the landlord, without me even having to ask her this. Now you compare this to a Western chick nowadays who likes to boss her guy around like a little servant. She wants to be the boss and wear the pants in the relationship. The relationship dynamic over there is completely out of whack, it's completely out of sync, and the men actually act like females over there nowadays. When you're dating a Vietnamese girl, she'll never try none of this crap with you, unless of course you appear weak towards her. She'll expect you to lead, and she'll follow you wherever you choose to go. Well guys, this concludes the list of 10 reasons why you should date a Vietnamese girl. If this video has been of some value towards you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Also, there's a link in the description below for my website, where you'll find more great information about dating Vietnamese girls as a foreigner. Well, until next time guys, see you guys later, and bye for now.